Shalom, I am J.A. Dudley, and I am burning my forearms leaning on the side of this truck. Uh, but that is irrelevant. I'm here to talk about the sins of my father. Wouldn't actually say my actual father because I really didn't know him. I spoke to him uh, a few times. When did the Giants win the Super Bowl? I think that was in 1986. Got a phone call from him then. I I also got to see him. Uh, when was it? I was outside playing in East Orange, New Jersey, and a family friend, his vehicle pulled up, said, "Hey, is your mother, your grandmother home? Because I have somebody in a car that I want you to meet." I think guy's name is Ronnie. I said, "Oh, my grandmother is inside." He was like, "Okay, cool. Well, let me go and go talk to her." And then this other guy hopped out the car and said, "Hey, um, I know you might not know me, but I'm your father." I said, "Okay, cool. Well, my grandmother is inside. You can go talk to her. I'm heading around the corner to go play." Ended up heading around the corner. Never saw him again. He did see me again. I don't know how he found out about me, but he was following my fighting career, and then he has quite a few other children, and one of them reached out to me and said, "Hey, I think you're my brother." That happened on Facebook. I was like, okay. Like I'm nobody special, but to get one of those uh, low-level celebrity calls, like, "Hey, you're a fighter, athlete, doing things out there. You get on TV from time to time. I've been following your career, but I think that you're my brother." So I was like, "Oh, that's a major shock." Then went to go meet up with him, met some of his other siblings, which technically are my siblings. And after I left from there, he gave me a call and said, "Oh yeah, our dad, he was scared to meet you. He was outside in the bushes and just wanted to see you." Like, okay. Well, I don't know why he didn't say anything. Give him my number. Maybe I'll talk to him or something. I had no anger, angst, or animosity about towards him. Just had no knowledge or connection to him. Then, as I ended up finding out that he passed away, I think last year or 2 years ago, something like that. I'm not exactly sure. I saw it online from my brother. I posted it online, but I just droning on about some of the family history. Uh, what I'm actually talking about is with saying the sins of my father is not really his fault. It's more so what I told my mother one day. I told her that it's not your fault for the failure of your mother's mother's mother, because if all of that stuff was in line, our life would have been different, and our trajectory would have been different. It started like as I studied the Torah and learning more about the curses in time of the Hebrew people. Reading in Deuteronomy, you see all the failures of man and how you were going to be cursed for generations because you weren't following the Torah. Now, my mother, my grandmother, they're all devout Christians, but were they living actual Christian life? Were they actual followers of Christ, or just claiming to be so? that's something that they would have to answer. Well, my grandmother that passed on uh, used to say that, hey, you're more Christian than the people that I go to church with that claim they're Christian. And back when she was telling me that, I was a non-believer. I wasn't anti uh, Christianity or anything like that. I just knew that there was something wrong with the religion or the people that were utilizing the religion for their power and different things like that. So all of that stuff is talking about in the scriptures, but since nobody actually reads the scriptures or the Bible or whatever, they get to pick and choose what actually applies to them. So where I am now in life is I'm trying to break those curses from Deuteronomy, those generational curses, and uh, and fix things for my sons, giving them an example, leading by example, uh, what it is, what a man is, what a Hebrew man is, and how to conduct myself in everyday life, how to deal with people, how to deal with working with someone, working for someone, how to deal with being a husband, how to deal with being a father. What does that look like? I had no example of what a man is. I had plenty of examples of what an adult male is, but never was shown what a actual man was. I had to, after I watched the movie Fight Club maybe about 100 times, I continued to ask that question: is that what a man looks like? Am I supposed to have addictions? Do men have addictions? Can men control themselves? Can men have healthy relationships with people? Can men be emotional? Can men be violent? Can men be nurturing? Can men can men work with their hands? Can men work on a computer? Like, what actually is it to be a man? Is to be a man a womanizer? Are you supposed to go around and just spread your seed all over the place? Like, what actually is it? So coming up like that, it was always confusing to what a man is. Like, I had examples of what a male is, but I had to filter down what a man was. Like, I took bits and pieces from my stepfather. I took bits and pieces from people that I saw in the church. I took bits and pieces from people that I worked with. There was one guy that I worked with named Pops. He was a professional boxer, and we worked security together, but he knew how to hustle people. He taught me that part of the game. He taught me how to be a stand-up man. There's also Eddie Rowland, which was my MMA coach for so many years. He taught me what it was to be humble, what it was to be a father, what it was to be a husband, what it was to be flawed, what it was to be a good listener. There's so many different examples. I'll be on here for hours pointing out specific people that were big influences on my life to give me those pieces of what a man is supposed to be, as opposed to what a male is supposed to be. And as I go through life now, trying to break these generational curses, especially the ones in Deuteronomy, I have to lead by example so that when my sons, well, one is 17 now, and my youngest one, they will strive to be like me, not to be like Mike. Or, well, that's from my generation, trying to be like Mike, trying to be like LeBron James. That's, I guess he's uh, the new version of Michael Jordan as an athlete. I don't need an athlete to be an inspiration to my sons. I am an athlete. I've been there. I stood in the fire. I've trained hard. I've done the grind. I've had sleepless nights. I've been a truck driver. The list just goes on. I've struggled. I've cried. I've done all of these different things so that my sons don't have to. That's what I'm striving for. I don't have much. I'm still trying to even life out so that it's always a peaceful day. Every day is a happy, joyous day that I can tell Yah thank you for all that He's given to me, all the experiences that He's allowed me to be able to see. But thank you for giving me the foresight of trying to be different. I don't want to be like everyone else. I don't have any idols. I have brothers that I want to strengthen up so that they can be better role models for their children. They could be better role models for their community. So they can be better role models for this country. So they can be better role models for this world. That is what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to break the negative image of a father, son, husband, uncle, and the list goes on. I want to break the curses of the perception of what a man is, what a black man is, or anything like that. That's my goat over there tethered up because she's in heat and had all the other goats going crazy. Yeah, you don't want to get caught up. That's a metaphor for life. Don't go crazy over some female that's in heat, and then that'll put you in a tailspin that you can't get out of or you can't afford. So that's pretty much it. I've recognized the failure of my father, metaphorically or whatever, or generations back, my great-grandfather, his great-grandfather, and so on and so on. I am trying to not pass on that exact same thing to my sons or other people's sons that their fathers haven't figured out the failure of their fathers in trying to correct that before they go out and make a mistake. So that's about it for me. Hope y'all enjoyed. Shalom.